Good morrow, and welcome to our channel. What are the CR30 monsters, and can you defeat them? We'll tell you the lore around them and how you can kill them, if you even can. And happy Halloween. All right, starting from, I guess, what I would consider the lowest would be, there's really not, because
they're all CR30.
I know,
so I'm curious, what makes it lowest for you?
Internal terror, I guess.
The thing you're least scared of?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is kind of ironic because I'm gonna say Trask.
No, I actually agree.
Oh, okay, good.
I know Jason, my husband, is obsessed with Tarasks, and he would really like to fight one at one point. Right. I am the least scared of this one. Yeah. And maybe it's just because I'm the least familiar with lore and things behind the Tarask.
That's true.
It's a scary monster for sure. It has an armor class of 25. That's not cool. It's also one of the it's not very smart. I think that might be why I'm not very scared of it, right? It's got a -4 modifier. So I feel like at least the character I have right now, right? She has several intelligence saving throws spells that do inflict damage. So I feel like that might be okay. 676 hit points. That's really nothing to
balk at. Yeah. But he can only go 40 feet in a turn, which yeah, sure, that's a lot. But an elf can go 35?
Wood elves can go 35. Other elves can only go 30. So you get to be faster as wood elf, basically. Right. But again, elves are cool. But so I'm wondering if Tarasks are only going 40 feet, they're gigantic. So are they only taking one step and that's their entire turn?
That's true. That's true. And
that's it?
How big are they? Because I know. Oh, that's the one thing I don't think I actually have.
So here's the thing. They're a gargantuan sized. So they're as big as a giant dragon.
Oh gosh. I know. I think at one point Chris was like, oh, it's as big like a city. And I was literally thinking of Godzilla times 15. And I was like, oh my gosh, how can you even hide from this thing? And I think part of it is because, if you look online, the fan art that's out there, some Tarasks are literally what I just said. And then other ones are more I don't know, a T-Rex. So it's maybe it's just because it's people's perspective or.
So, okay, I'm looking it up. The monster manual lists it as 50 feet tall and 70 feet long.
Oh, that's so much smaller. Okay, see, yeah, Tarasks are fine.
It's fine. It's not at all scary with its siege monster ability or its legendary resistances. Nah.
Magic resistance, reflective carapace.
Frightful presence. The reflective carapace, I think that's mean. That gives magic missile doesn't work? What? Okay, so you have to roll a d6 still, but that's the point of magic missile. It always hits.
It does. So, yeah. On some accounts, apparently only one Tarask exists. Is that true? And it could be permanently dealt with if someone found a way to lock it away on a different plane. If there's only one, I don't know why I always assumed that it was a monster species. Okay. So if there's only one, that's a little bit more comforting. But is that asexual?
Bam! There we go.
There is the Tarask.
There's the Tarask. So I'll do a little story time here. It's from the monster manual, so you guys can't get mad at me. It says the legendary Tarask is possibly the most dreaded monster of the material plane. We disagree because it's dumb. Yeah. So it's widely believed that only one of these creatures exists, though no one can predict where and when it'll strike.
That'd be terrifying.
So here's the thing. It's 50 feet tall, 70 feet long, and weighs hundreds of tons. So it's thick. And it's a little dense, right? So I think what's scary about this monster, though, is the fact that it's stupid, right? So there's no reasoning with it. Like, not that I'm going to be able to reason with, Lawless. There's really no reasoning with her at that point, right? But you can't reason with a monster like this. I mean,
No,
I
you
wonder
can't.
if you could
like
you
you
cast
said,
animal friendship on it?
I think it has to be a certain size on animal friendship. I feel like it is.
I should know this because you guys
let us know. But like, no, I get what you mean,
looking it
because
up.
like, for instance, Lolith, you might not be able to reason with her, but you might be able to make a deal, even if she's gonna stab you in the back anyway with a poison dagger. But like, there is some like give and take a little bit. Whereas, like you said, just a bloodthirsty being is just going to rage everything.
Well, an animal's gonna do what an animal's gonna do, right?
Right.
Here's the deal. I wonder. Okay, animal friendship.
Say a size.
The spell lets you convince a beast that you mean it no harm. Choose a beast that you can see within range. It must see or hear you. If the beast's intelligence is 4 or higher, the spell fails. Otherwise, the beast must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you for the spell's duration, which is 24 hours. If you or one of your companions harms the target, the spell ends.
I mean, it's not 4.
It is 3.
But he has to be able to see and hear you. So you might have to get pretty darn close for it to hear you, or use thaumaturgy.
Oh, but he has blind sight.
So we're trying to figure out how to defeat this thing, or
I mean, dominate beast.
Oh, that's a good idea. Can you enlarge and reduce? Can you reduce it?
I don't see why not.
Wait, magic resistance.
Oh.
Okay, so it has advantage
on saving throws.
So it could fail.
This is my thought. Silvery barbs. You could cast silvery barbs and give this thing disadvantage on the saving throw and giving yourself advantage.
Okay. Then you could reduce it.
And then reduce it. Ooh. Is there a saving throw for enlarge and reduce?
Yes.
Or do you need to
yes, there is.
Yeah. So he has a +9 to a wisdom saving throw, if that's what it is. So I think you could reduce it and just like put him in a little jar, poke some holes in the top, and then
why poke the holes? Just suffocate it to death. Oh my gosh.
I'm not a monster. Okay.
Don't become the Tarask, Mandy.
My alignment is chaotic good. It's the best. Okay.
This is true. But like my character, Aelvid, well, okay. Part of me is like, oh, she just like shake the bottle till it like, dies. But then at the same time, she'd probably be like, no, this would be the coolest pet ever.
No, I think you would try to make friends with it. And
like ride it into battle.
No, I can do this.
Yes. That would
find a little baby Tarask and it's just your little friend. See, and everybody else is going, no.
This is a terrible idea.
So no, I agree. I think Tarask is lower. Especially compared to the other ones that we're looking at here.
Oh my goodness. So much so. Okay.
Because they're intelligent.
Yes. No, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, what would be your next one then? Since now we know how to defeat the Tarask, you shrink it and you keep it as a pet.
You shrink it, keep it as a pet. There you go. Just keep casting reduce on it. You just live with a bunch of spellcasters and you just take turns.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me. You're killing me. Killing me, Smalls.
Gosh. So here's the thing. I'm stuck between the aspect of Bahamut and just normal Tiamat. Because
okay.
The only way I'm saying aspect of Bahamut might be easier is because he is lawful good. If I'm having to fight him, I might be able to use that some way.
This is true. Well, and if you are fighting him, like maybe you're in the wrong.
My character is never in the wrong. Ever. She's never done anything wrong to anybody. None of them. That's a lie. That's just a lie. Yeah, no, I'm going with Tiamat because she has a dex of 10.
There you go. That would be why.
And Aspect of Bahamut has a dex of 18.
For anyone unfamiliar with, who Tiamat is, She is the mother of evil dragons.
Terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
It's a hydra and a dragon.
It is. She has a head for each of the major species of chromatic dragons. All of them. And they operate independently, and she can use the dragon's specific abilities of that color.
Yeah, for instance, so like if she wants to use the black dragon head, okay. Acid breath.
Not great.
Blue dragon, lightning breath. Green dragon, poison breath. Red dragon, classic fire breath. Still a lot of damage. And then white dragon, which we actually just kind of had to fight last week.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, cold breath.
Do not recommend, because a party of 4, it would have been a complete total party wipe. And unfortunately, one of our characters sacrificed himself for the rest of us to live. And if that had not happened, we would all be dead.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No,
times 5.
Heard, I heard what when Chris said the damage, I was like, oh, Feyre's dead. Like,
I know.
She's down.
Yeah, she's dead.
Super dead. Like very, very dead. But anyway, okay, Tiamat.
And she's got 3 legendary actions.
So no, she can take
5
legendary actions.
She has a lot of crap.
There's lots of stuff. So she has limited magic immunity. So unless she wishes to be affected, like unless she's like, I'll let you get a hit in, she's immune to any spells 6th level or lower. So like if this came to our party right now, only our fighter is going to be able to do anything. Feyre could buff you.
That's true. You could buff me.
I can cast haste.
But she also she can fly 120 feet. Like that's, and she has true sight. Scary. You can't even hide from the dang thing.
Her passive perception is 36.
Yeah, mine's I think 11. I don't think I'd even see her.
The giant dragon. You wouldn't see the multicolored 5-headed dragon.
It's a really cool rock.
Be like, Feyre, Elvin. What? Dragon. That's a rock.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so is she fightable?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd have to be very high level, and I think you'd have to be in a group that's working really, really well together. And I think that's it. I think she's fightable. I can't think of a way right now
in our campaign.
There's no, I don't think our party, even at our best, right? Let's say Declan hadn't died.
Right.
I think the way you win is you run away.
I mean, yeah, if you can.
Like you teleport out of there.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I guess one thing, like the only person who could maybe do it is Feyre. Like maybe try to persuade her to not eat us. Like
that's true. You have very high charisma. And okay, here's my question. Okay, so she's female. So Mandy's character has this really cool armor. Is it armor?
So it's not armor because she's a sorcerer. So no armor for her.
Right. No armor.
It's just a cool outfit because Chris knows I'm vain. It's fine.
But it's this outfit that she gets advantage, like crazy advantage with charisma throws against men. Well, but disadvantage against women, right?
No, it's
not. I thought it was disadvantage.
So I have a +10 on persuasion. Absurd. Yeah. Normally it's only a +8 though, so it only increases at 2.
It seems like it's like +25.
That's just because for some reason I always roll stupid high with this one. But I think that's the only way I could see getting out of this, unless
or like maybe go ahead.
Like really strong magical items, like I think that's the only thing you could do. I mean, she can innately cast Divine Word.
Yeah, she's pretty dang.
That's crazy. I mean, die. Die or run
Die.
away. I feel like those are the options with this one.
Yeah, it's like that. You know, I don't remember if it's the black bear or the brown bear that you're supposed to lay down, or they say that you should lay down, pretend like you're dead.
See,
I don't think that would be a good idea because she'd just step on you to make sure.
I mean, to be fair, I can't ever remember either, so I'm just gonna die either way if I run into a black bear or a brown bear.
Just don't ever be out in the woods by yourself.
Yes.
But okay.
Because it looks like I would be in the woods by myself. I give off that vibe, I know.
You do. Camping.
So disgusting. Okay.
Defended like.
What do you think is next?
Okay, so after Tiamat, which stick with the aspect of Tiamat, maybe technically like an aspect of Tiamat or Bahamut or whatever. They're one of their followers who has died and been brought back to life. Which is different from like the Avatar, which is just like independent beings, like the actual god themselves, in another form.
They get mystic actions here, which are bonkers.
Not great. Okay, but a lot less. Like they don't have all the 5 heads.
That's true. They don't have the 5 heads, but they do have things like she has hurl through Avernus, which for those who don't know, that's basically the realm that she's been locked away through. So locked away in. So Tiamat is essentially the aspect of Tiamat is from the source book Fizban's Treasury of Dragons. But hurl through Avernus, she targets a creature that she's grappling, and then it has to succeed on a DC 25 charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Or take 44 psychic damage and be banished to the first layer of the 9 hells, Avernus. And then at the start of the next turn, the creature reappears in an unoccupied space within 10 feet of the aspect. Like,
so like so much worse than banishment is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I think it's so much worse because you're already taking damage. And then her next mythic action, you also, so mythic actions are a little bit insane, right? In that there's such a high DC that it's almost impossible to hit it.
Okay.
Like this chromatic flare, the other mythic action that she has. I have only had one character that could hit that DC.
What is the DC?
DC 27 of dexterity. Right?
Holy cow, that is crazy high.
So on a failed save, she takes 39 damage that she can choose. She can just choose what type of damage it is. So it could be poison, acid, fire, lightning, or cold. It's just bonkers. And it's a 60-foot radius centered on her. So she could just do it and then just out. So everybody could get engulfed in the flame if everybody's in melee.
Not good for Ilbin. Okay.
No.
And she does also have a lot of resistance, like legendary resistance that she gets 5 a day. Yeah. Chromatic flames, which are like 5 to 6 recharges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scary.
574 hit points.
Yeah, so she's got 60 feet of just like walking. She can burrow 60 feet a turn. She can fly 120 feet, and she can swim 60 feet.
Wait. How come she gets more abilities with movement than Tiamat does? I don't like the burrowing thing. I don't like not being able to see. It's like freaking Trimmers. I don't like it.
Trimmers with Tiamat.
This is not good.
This is Caitlin's nightmare.
No, really, I've had nightmares about Trimmers my whole life.
I think she gets more movement than like physical Tiamat, right? Because she's an aspect, right? So there's a little bit more. She's imbued with more magic at that point.
That's true. Okay. All right. So how would we attempt to defeat an aspect of Tiamat? I guess what would we do differently than like Tiamat?
Normal Tiamat?
Yeah.
I think it's going to go back to number one, my original plan with Tiamat, a runaway. Runaway. I think it would go back to a strategy of try to persuade. Try to see, like, try to make a deal. I guess it depends. Is the objective kill her or is the objective survive? Because in my head, both seem valid.
This is true.
Seems more doable.
This is true.
So maybe try to persuade, make a deal.
I mean, she is lawful evil, so that
the aspect is chaotic evil.
I have lawful evil.
I am looking on D&D Beyond. Where are you?
Fine. You're just, I'm running D&D wiki, so fine.
Yeah, so Aspect of Tiamat is chaotic evil according to D&D Beyond. So I don't know.
It's a hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
It's like
and
a
it also
PMSing
depends
woman.
Yeah, kind of depends on how your DM's running it. Right?
Yeah. Did you bring snacks? Did you forget them?
Have you been extra annoying? For Mandy, the answer is always yes.
Always yes.
But
I think again, yes, trying to some kind of deal, or I mean, if there's someone else that they want more than you, they might let you go, or like you said, running, all good options. Otherwise, I would try to do long distance.
Confusion. I mean, let's say we're level 20 here. You're going to have to use really high level spells at that point and have some really powerful magical items.
Yeah.
I think in order to make that work. The one thing I can think of for Feyre at level 18, she gets a really cool ability where it's called Warping Implosion, where she gets to be in a space and she can teleport out of that space, but cause basically an explosion when she teleports, like
that's awesome.
Space to another space.
Really cool.
So she could do that and then quicken spell something. Or quicken spell confusion or Tasha's mind whip. Really just trying. I think what you're wanting to do with this one is really limit her. So first you want to burn through the legendary resistances.
Yeah, get rid of all those as quick as possible.
Yeah, and then I think you want to limit her action economy.
Yeah.
Try to stop her from being able to do things. So hold monster. I guess that's also an option.
Yeah. That's true, because she's got a lot more abilities otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's really your only strategy here. If you do have to fight, is limit her action economy in some way, shape, or form. I don't know if that's grappling with a bigger monster. Oh, you could summon aberration.
That's a good point.
Summon demon, something like that. Something that you could also use to. I'm thinking of the things that Feyre can do. I think all those are options. You just have to limit her in some way.
So moving on, then we have Aspect of Bahamut. I see. Okay, this is where I'm like, thus far, I have never had a character that would ever be fighting Bahamut, because my characters are all either lawful good or chaotic good, or I mean, chaotic neutral. And so I'm like, I'm always on the good side. Don't eat me.
So what did we do to tick off Bahamut? Here's the thing. I actually think, looking at this now, I think he's the hardest. I'm looking at this again.
Okay.
There is, number one, this is dramatic to say, but I think when one of my favorite quotes from Doctor Who, for example, not for example, it's my favorite quote from Doctor Who. It's from When a Good Man Goes to War.
Okay.
And somebody looks at the doctor and says, "You won't do anything. You have too many rules." And the doctor says, "Good men don't need rules. Now is not a time to ask why I have so many." And I always think of that with lawful good, because why do you need so many boundaries? I feel like that's also a concern for me. And also lawful good people, and I say like heroes or gods, right? There's always, you tend to be lawful good because you love, right? And we've talked about this in a previous episode where it was love is a strong motivator. So if I'm fighting Bahamut, I think I've hurt him in some way, like emotionally, I have scarred him in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like that's scary. But also Bahamut, like at some point, like if you look at lore, he's often accompanied by 7 ancient gold dragons. So do they attend this fight? Are they watching off to the side? Do I have to fight 7 ancient gold dragons at this time, or am I just fighting Bahamut?
I think it depends on the threat level. If he feels threatened, which he probably doesn't, then they're just watching for sport. Or if he's in the mood to fight and, he just watches for sport. But like if he's fighting and they feel like he's going to go down, like they're definitely going to jump in, which I don't feel like that would happen, but
No.
there's always a possibility. Maybe you're just a really awesome character and you have not you.
Hey, I'm good. Okay.
And you have some way to like
I'm not casting haste on Aelvid anymore. I'm just
no.
He's not gonna get it at all.
Oh no, I love it when you do it. It's so much fun. But like, okay, gosh, like all of the things.
I think he's more difficult because he can heal himself more, and like he can also like he can use a mythic action to summon 7 spectral ancient gold dragons to protect him, and he gains 77 hit points until the start of his next turn.
Yeah, when someone heals like nonstop, it's very frustrating.
Super annoying, man. Like he just has a lot of high damage stuff, and it's also because he's an aspect, like we've talked about, they're imbued with magic. He's just going to be more difficult. So
he is. I mean, like for instance, just his normal actions. Exalting Breath, he has 5 to 6 recharges. Platinum Breath, 5 to 6 recharges. Legendary actions. He regains his spent legendary actions at the start of his turn. Okay. That's not okay.
yeah.
That is just
woof.
That's not, no. That's
You're
supposed to burn through them so you at least have a chance. So I mean, like, ooh, okay. How would one? Gosh, you're right. With all those astral dragons,
the spectral dragons, and then also his other mythic action is nuts. I'm just going to read it for the crowd that is there. The crowd of 78 subscribers. Thanks, by the way.
Thanks.
It's the aspect conjures 4 enormous lances of magical force that plummet to the ground at 4 different points that he can see within 100 feet of him and then disappear. Each creature within a 20-foot radius, 100-foot high cylinder centered on each point must succeed on a DC 27 dexterity saving throw or take 24 force damage, which nothing's immune to.
No.
And a creature in the area of more than 1 lance is affected only once. Oh, that's nice.
30 at least.
Oh gosh. And then he's immune to acid, cold, fire, lightning, radiant, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical. So he's only going to take damage from magical weapons. Okay, which by the time you're fighting something like this, you have magical weapons.
Like you should.
you should. If you don't, I would lodge a complaint. Yeah, so he's only going to take damage from poison, necrotic, and thunder.
So basically, I can throw my poisoned dagger at him.
Isn't your weapon magical? Isn't your axe magical?
I don't have an axe.
I'm so sorry. I promise that's not me rubbing it in. I legitimately forgot.
Yeah, my sword is magical. I guess pretty much everything it has is imbued with some kind of magic. So
yeah, so it's fine.
Okay.
You can do this by yourself.
Yeah.
Feyre's hardest hitting spells wouldn't do anything though.
Any of them?
Not her hardest. I mean, I could cast Chromatic Orb at 4th level and I could change the damage type. I've just always done fire because it narratively fits Feyre and her deity.
Right.
And we haven't come up, and I have some feats that make it to where, oh wait, I have a feat that ignores damage immunities or immunities and things like that.
Ooh, okay. That would come in handy.
Yeah, so that I could cast, it's Widowghast Web of Fire, but we renamed it Dawn's Vengeance. So I could cast that on him, and it's 12d6 fire damage in one go.
Okay. which shall heal his next round.
Yeah, so we got to stop that. There's some spells that stop them from regain. Oh, ooh, got it. It's just a we could do, and he'd take damage from it. So as a bonus action on each of my turns, I could cast Chill Touch.
Wait, I thought he had immunity to.
He's not immune to necrotic, but that's not why I'm casting it.
Oh.
When he takes damage with it, he cannot heal.
Oh, right. Okay. All right. We were onto something here.
Okay, so we could do that.
And my character would come in and just beat the heck out of him.
I could quicken, and it's a cantrip, so I can quicken spell and just use 1 sorcery point. Right. So I could technically do that for 8 rounds if I use no other sorcery points.
Might make
and then just cast other damage.
Yeah.
At the same time, as long as you keep me up. See, here's the problem. Once you develop a strategy and you see what's working, the DM naturally, right, is going to go, and anybody you're fighting is going to be like, oh, that person needs to go away.
Take out the threat. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Totally makes sense. And just fun PSA, if you find that that's not happening, there's a reason the DM hasn't gotten you.
Yeah, there is.
Something else is coming.
Yeah. Or, also they'll take out the healer and then you're all screwed. Also not great. Okay.
Yeah.
So
keep it clear. That's my thought.
I think that's a good thought. Or just, stay on the good side of the law and don't get on his bad side.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually one of the best things. Like, what's the best way to not get eaten by a shark? Don't swim.
Don't go in the water.
Don't go.
Don't go on the beach.
I think it's great advice. Stay away from the coast. The megalodon will get you. But anyway,
tornadoes will.
Why would you bring that up? Like, I don't need to think about that. Okay, Katie, I have a question.
Yes. What?
If all 4 of these
were
to fight, who would win?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, like, if all 4 were to fight us at the same time, like, and we would die.
No, you know what would happen? I'll tell you what would happen. Feyre would, I have a plan. Feyre would use cantrip Mold Earth, and that gets a little 5 feet hole, and she would just climb in it and then remold and just bury herself.
Oh my gosh.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Or I have a teleportation scroll that could take me back home real quick. Just whoop, out.
I think I want to go back to your home.
I mean, get eaten by a dragon, live for a couple more hours. I think it's
that's true. That's true. I go with that one too. Okay. I mean, like, after talking about all these, which one do I think would ultimately win? Bahamut, hands down.
Yeah.
The one that would go down first, I think, would be the Trask.
Which is interesting because I don't know if you noticed, the Trask has the highest hit points.
I did notice that, actually.
But I think it goes back to that intelligence.
I think so too.
They also don't have any magic.
Yeah. The other ones are just, like, comparatively overpowered. Like, I
think it goes back to monster versus sentient magical being.
Yeah.
Not that a monster isn't sentient or like a beast isn't sentient. What I mean by that is the ability to think and plan, where the Trask, from what I'm reading, is really animalistic. And yes, it's absolutely scary because I don't no, thank you. But I feel like that would be easier to get around than a 5-headed dragon. No, thank you.
Now that you know who and what the toughest D&D monsters are, give it a shot. DMs, throw them at your players, but, like, be nice.
Or
don't. And just, TPK. We want to know, has your party come across any of these monsters before? How did you survive? Did you survive? And what did you do? Please comment below. We would love to know. And subscribe. For all of you trick-or-treaters, happy Halloween. We hope that you have a fun and safe Halloween, and I hope that you noticed my Shadowheart-inspired hairstyle and makeup. But anyone who knows me knows I love a smoky eye and a high braided ponytail.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was a costume until you told me.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not a costume. It was inspired. Anywho. I wasn't going to cut my face.
I'm going to get yelled at later, just so the audience is aware.
Oh, all right. Well, happy haunting and good night.